When I got quarantined for the second time, I thought hello old friend as I entered the lonely caravan, hauling my heavy suitcase treading carefully down the hollow wooden passage. I wished that someone would notice that I was struggling with my bag and offer help, nevertheless I carried on. I didn't notice that a few eyes peeped at me through the cracks of the doors to the dark forbidden rooms. I was assigned to a new room, same white walls, and fan revolving to dispel the harsh Kalahari heat, a small desk and chair and 2 lockers. A man wearing blue plastic scrubs from head to toe had just finished cleaning the room, sweeping out the familiar dirt that belonged to the lucky individual that had just escaped isolation, hopefully sane. The same disinfectant was sprayed and I was left by myself trying to remember the digits of the clinic landline which the doctor had carelessly mumbled before he left. Before I settled in, I visited the toilet where I came across an older girl wearing a black mask slightly below her nose. When I asked if she was in isolation as well, she gave me the smile of an old woman remembering the days of her youth and replied, "We have been here for a while," her voice heavy with nostalgia. I sighed blissfully as I exhaled the toxicity of my old room and inhaled the new freshness. I am an introvert, I assured myself, I can handle this. On my first night I slept like a baby, the trickling rain outside being my lullaby. Rather unusually, I even slept with the light off. As I shut my eyes I looked forward to 10 days of free food, free Wi-Fi and silence, which was an introvert's paradise. Isolation seems like the perfect paradise for an introvert, but I think isolation can be a unique experience for anyone in the sense that you are put in this box, in this place where despite how frustrated you feel you have no immediate escape. You are literally stuck with yourself. At first you may decide to utilize the resources you have to escape from having to overthink your situation. The temporary pleasure of doing whatever you want with the time you have. The seemingly infinite opportunities online, the entertainment, the DIY, the tutorials, the top 10s, the unknown facts, the hilarious TikToks etc. all feel like cyber liquor. But as time goes your thoughts begin to creep up on you like tiny insects which you can ignore for a while until they start to crawl up your skin. I think it's similar to our fears. We know they exist but we push them to the back of our heads thinking that they will disappear, but the truth is that they will remain there until we face them. Sometimes they show up in the form of weird nightmares, messages from our subconscious. As the days went by I ruminated on the goals and plans I had for the year and all the efforts I had put my time into which hadn't turned out the way I wanted. Nothing made sense. Reality didn't make sense. It felt as though there was no future, but all around me life was progressing, forging a way through the dark fog and into the unknown. A massive display of adaptation because the world never stopped rotating, the sun rose and set like it always did. Life had to go on and time would stop for no man. We lost our grip of the whip, the steering wheel we thought we had on our lives. We have this sense of always wanting to be in control, and in my opinion it was probably a survival instinct. We want our lives to go the way we planned and we don't want any surprises which threaten our illusion of control. Sometimes we have to let go of the reins and allow ourselves to see a new light, to see that we can achieve the things we want, but the journey will never be like your usual walk or drive to a place you know. Throughout the walk we will meet different situations and it all comes down to our reactions and the choices we make and the response we take towards them. My friend asked whether I believe in destiny or fate, and my response was that I do believe that each and every human being has a purpose and a unique destiny. However, the choices laid in front of us can lead to multiple different outcomes. In some cases people feel like they made bad choices along the way and it led to different routes, but in the end they ended up where they wanted to be. Obviously it didn't just happen. The choices they made and the way they reacted to the circumstances led to that. And then there are other people who believe that if they had made better choices they would be in a better place than the present circumstances. Such people feel regretful. Some of them feel like it's too late to pursue the goals and that they are just going to waste away and be an example to others of what they shouldn't do. But the key is not to allow the discouragement to deter you from moving forward and choosing to still pursue your dreams, because we all have different timelines. Some people achieved the dream life at a younger age whilst others achieved it in the later stages of their lives. What is success anyway? Because it seems like the world has its own standard which defines what a successful person is supposed to have, the same way social media has created an image of what the ideal person is supposed to look like time and time again. Success to me is entirely subjective, and we all have our ideals, but most people choose to conform to the world's ideal, and it can be frustrating and depressing to look at your peers and feel as though you aren't doing anything with your life because they seem to be doing everything with theirs. That pressure can result in us comparing our relationships, our partners, our parents, and taking it out on them because they are not like the ideal. It's blinding in a way because we stop seeing the positives and all we see are the flaws. Now don't get me wrong, in life there is always room for improvement, but the goal is not to become a replica or an imitation of someone else, because you can never entirely be like them. Your uniqueness lies in the little things, which we often don't see in ourselves, the little things which take another individual to notice and say about us. The way your nose twitches, your step, your impact on others, the glow of your face when it is lit up by the sunshine, the varying pitches in the sound of your voice depending on how you feel, the way you look up when your name is called, your opinion on different aspects of life and the universe, whether you believe in aliens or not, your definition of happiness, the way you treat others, etc. My point is, a win for someone may be climbing the world's tallest mountain, walking on the moon, or owning multiple companies, whilst a win for someone else may be earning enough money to feed the family for the day, giving back to the community, traveling to a different country, or finding food to carry to school. We each have so much potential, but it's up to us not to allow circumstances to hold us back and to take the opportunities that are presented before us. So as I stared up at the revolving fan in the frosty chill of my room, I wanted a sign or anything to show me the direction in which life was going. I had to be left with no options for me to realize what I wanted to be in life, and I see the reason why now, because if I did have many options I would probably venture into something that I wasn't really interested in simply because I could, but I didn't, and I'm grateful for that. The feeling doesn't just disappear. From time to time it can come back and make you feel sad because you just can't help but wonder what could have been if you did get the chance to go in a different direction. The experience makes you see challenges and negative circumstances in a different light. Acceptance is the stage at which you accept what your reality is and you pick it up from there. So do not despair if circumstances, whether personal and the global pandemic, affected your plans. The first step is to observe your surroundings and realize that it is not a nightmare you have to wake up from, because that is your present reality and you can move forward from there. There is always a lesson, and sometimes it is pointing us in the direction towards achieving our dreams, just not in the way we expected. There won't always be glowing signs pointing you in that direction, which is why you have to look inward and be careful whose advice we listen to, because some people give unsolicited advice not because they hate you but because they are genuinely looking out for you, although what worked or did not work for them won't necessarily produce the same outcome for you. Sometimes when we are down, it's as if the universe sends us people, surprises, or little unique things that make us smile. We had a group chat during quarantine for those in different rooms, and someone found my number in the group chat. We began to talk and this person asked me what my favorite music was. To my surprise, the night before they left they played my favorite songs for me for hours on speaker, even though they had never been a fan. We never became friends outside of quarantine, but that experience made a difference for me. Surrender the idea of how you thought life should be, but do not let go of your dream and your goals, because along the way you will see the bigger picture. We are all like chess pieces on a universal board, and not only do our choices affect our outcome, they affect others too, whether we see it or not, but that is a topic for another day. If you have listened up until this far, I hope you took something from this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Have you ever been quarantined away from home? How has the pandemic affected you, and have you learnt anything from your experience? Feel free to share with us. Namaste.